This is Devin Steiner, Manager of Athletic Communications. I'm joined by Rick Albro, the head coach of the women's basketball program. Rick, how you doing, man?
I'm good, Devin. Thanks.
We'll get right into it. Just got some questions about your season, some of the summer stuff that's going on, and next year for you. We'll start off, if you can hit on your 1920 season. You guys had 6 losses that were decided by 5 points or less. You win those, and you're 1 game away from having a 500 season. What's your thoughts on the season overall?
Well, I really believe it could have been even better than that. I mean, you go back and look at the halftime stat of how many times that we were in the lead or tied. I go back to the U-Indy game where we didn't have Jenna, and we lose on the road to a very good team, 89-86, and they had 6 seniors, 4 who started that were Division I transfers. So the GLIAC is so good, and it was senior laden, and we had a lot of young kids compete really hard, but it came down to we just had a tough time finishing games, and I believe there was a reason for that. We were a lot of injuries. You know, if I go back and count the number of games, Jenna misses the first 7, Mackenzie misses the last 18, so there's 25. Elise Skaggs misses the last 8.5, I think. So those are primetime performers. So, you know, there's a lot I look back on that I feel a lot better than what the record tells me I should feel. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that makes sense. And kind of going a little bit into next year, you signed 3 girls so far for your next season. You got McKenna, Mia, and Claire. Tell us a little bit about them.
Well, Mia blew out her ACL in January and had surgery. She's doing well. Thank goodness for her of her motor, because she had been going through about 3 weeks of PT before we got shut down in March. So she had to continue to do it at home, but she has convinced me that she's worked hard on it. She's now back into PT. Having gone through that myself, I understand you can do PT on your own, but when you got there, somebody there busting your butt saying, come on, 4 more. And after you do 4, come on, 1 more, and then 1 more, you know, it's hard. Okay. But I know she's got a motor, she's got a great attitude, and whether we'll have her back when we get started, of course, that's a question. When do we get started? Okay. Claire Borsheim is from La Crosse, Wisconsin. She had originally signed at Saginaw Valley and decommitted after a coaching change. Really good using the ball screen, and we like to use the ball screen. And so, and she's got a big time pull up jump shot game, which is very high in my book. You know, the game of basketball, and I think AAU had something to do with this, and kids weren't going to camp anymore, that there was no mid game anymore. It was get all the way to the rim or shoot it from the arc. Okay. And, you know, I'm looking for people who can score at all 3 levels. And Claire's got a big time pull up jump shot, very athletic, great vertical. And then our third signee, McKenna Bryant from Cadillac, had a very good season. They were still in the regional finals when their season was called to an end. I was supposed to get up to this game, but because of snow, she had 9 threes in 1 game in February. She's got great range, can stroke it, and she's a bulldog. And then, you know, that's 3, and we may not be done. You know, just because I can't be out watching people doesn't mean I can't be on the computer, on the phone, and texting, and making calls.
Yeah. So there's still potential to grab someone else here for this next year.
Yes, there is.
Cool. And talking about recruiting, kind of the summer thing, obviously AAU ball is really big for basketball coaches and recruiting. How is that going to work for you with the uncertainty that AAU ball will even take place this summer?
Yeah, well, that's a challenge, but you know, part of the challenge that we're going through is budget cuts. And so the upside of that, you look at the money you save by not being able to go out. It hasn't been decided whether we can go out or not. Okay. Yep. One of the real pluses of this COVID-19 for me has been we had a young lady verbally commit to us that I'm very excited about. And so half our job is already done. Okay. And I've spent time on the phone and texting. I think you talk to most coaches, the one thing that they've been able to do during this COVID pandemic is spend more time in terms of identifying the recruits that they really want to go after, because you are limited at being able to eval.
Makes sense. Uh, and luckily for you, the COVID pandemic didn't really affect your actual season for the 1920. You were able to complete all the games, everything like that. But how are you managing during the summer? Obviously, you can't see your players right now. There's no contact. How are you managing that with keeping in contact with your players and your recruits and potential recruits and all that jazz?
Yeah, well, the Friday that they closed school down was supposed to be our first of workouts. The NCAA makes you take 2 weeks off after your last game. So we were going to be able to get going on March 14th, and that's when everything started to break. And so the girls are on their own, and I remain in constant contact with them. We have Google Hangout meetings. A lot of the girls are back to work now, and so sometimes it's hard to pick a time where everybody can be there. And I've tried to impress upon them that this is on you now. Okay. Division II coaches during the summer, one of the things that's different is we didn't have a spring. Okay. And I was very excited about what Coach Caleb Grummett was able to do with our team. Our very last session, and it was something that Jenna Falkenberg did, her very last lift session. And that proved to me how far our girls were coming in terms of improving their strength under Coach Caleb Grummett. We missed that. We were going to have 20 sessions during the spring. We've missed those 20. So I've tried to impress upon our young ladies, this is on you now, okay? Hopefully gyms will start to open up, but during the season, we did a lot of just body weight conditioning. And so they had that experience with Coach Grummett. They could go to that. And then if they reached out to him, he could, because they volunteered, he could send them a workout. And so those people that have worked out or who have reached out to him because they're concerned about doing what they can, he's been able to send them a workout. So, and yet my feedback I get from them, they're working hard, and more so than ever because of this length of time. If and when we can report back in the fall, it will show. You will see right away who paid their dues.
Oh, yeah. Final question here for you, Rick. What are you most excited about for the 2021 women's basketball season?
I really think that we've got a lot of young kids who have a lot of experience. Starts with our junior class who played a lot as freshmen, and then last year in our freshman class, got an awful lot of minutes. And then the fact that we've got 3 girls plus, maybe more, we're going to have at least 14 girls in practice. And last year we had 10, and we have obstacles with the nursing program where sometimes people can't be there. We're going to have more of those this year. But I'm really excited about the fact that we can be far more competitive and get after each other at a fast pace in practice. And then part of the thing that the GLIAC is looking at is a change of schedule where we may not be going Thursday, Saturday, but could go back to back. And I think that will pay off for us because of our depth. I'm very excited about the depth that we could possibly have going into this year.
Oh, well, thanks again for joining me. I hope you and your family obviously stay safe during this time. If you guys want to keep up to date with anything women's basketball related, visit dupanthers.com or on social media. We are at DU Athletics. Thanks again for joining me, Coach.
Thanks, Devin. And I've said this to the girls, and this would be a message to everybody watching this. Be a good teammate. Things are opening up, but we can all be smart about the choices that we make and it's about being a good teammate right now.
Yes, I agree. Thanks again, Coach.
Thanks. Have a great day and stay safe.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.